Hi there. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can use the data flow gen tool in Microsoft Fabric to connect to data stored in SharePoint folder. So let's get started. Now, this is really useful for businesses and organizations that store their data in SharePoint and they need to have access to the data for analytics and of course to build maybe ML solutions and so on. So let's go to my SharePoint and I want to show you the folder. So I've got this sales folder that houses three CSV files, which are sales 2014.csv, 2015 to 2016.csv. So we want to use the data flow gen tool, which is optimized for Microsoft Fabric to connect to these three files resident in this sales folder. So I'm going to come here and in this specific workspace, I'm going to provision the data flow gen tool and I'm going to click on new item. So I'm going to search for the data flow gen tool in this search box and I can see that here. Just click on that and I can give this a meaningful name, but this is fine for demonstration. So I'm going to click on create and in about 30 seconds or thereabout, the data flow gen tool is now created and then the landing page is presented before us. Amazing. So we can see we can get data using different kind of connectors like getting data from Excel, from SQL Server, from text CSV. We can import from data flows or run mapping data flow MDF transforms. But in our case, we want to focus on getting data resident in SharePoint folder. So I'm going to use this get data under the new query group, and then I want to go to the more option at the bottom. So in the search, I'm going to search for SharePoint folder, and I can see that here as a new sources. Click on that, and then in the get data, connect to data source. We can provide the connection settings, which include the site URL. We can give a meaningful connection credential, which include the connection name, and the data flow gen tool is not applicable because our data is in the cloud, not on-premise, not on the local machine. And we can also specify kind of authentication, whether we want to use organizational account, service principal, or workspace identity. But let's go ahead and fetch the site URL for the SharePoint. So I'm going to come here and then I can just copy everything from here to the left. And this is going to include the hypertext transfer protocol secured colon double forward slash because this is not prepended by default. So I'm going to press Ctrl C to copy and then I can Ctrl V and I can wait for the authentication to happen. So let me see. So I'm going to select this cornerstone because that has been detected automatically anyway. So I can edit connection and in the connection name, we can give this a meaningful name. Let's call this one SharePoint underscore con as the connection name. And then for the authentication kind, as I mentioned, we can use any of these three kind, but let's go with the organization account for sake of simplicity. And then we can just keep this privacy level as none, and then I'm going to click on connect at the bottom right hand corner. All right, so we can see this preview folder data. So this simply means all our connection settings are working as expected, and we can see the content, which is the binary column that holds all the actual data. We can see the name, the extension, date accessed, date modified, and so on and so forth. Now, in our case, we are not combining all the files because they are not having the same structure. So we want to pick some files in a specific folder. So I'm going to click on create, and this is going to be created as a single columns in the Power Query, that is the data flow gen tool optimized for Microsoft Fabric, and then we can filter based on the folder path. So there we go. Now I'm going to quickly scroll to the right and let me scroll to the bottom. Now this is the folder that we are very much interested in, and we can see this is stored in the shared documents sales folder. I'm going to click on that, and when I come, I can see this is my document and this is the sales folder, so everything is correct. Now I can copy this sales folder and use that as a filter criteria in the folder path. So I'm going to click on here and then I can use the text filters that contains a specific keyword. In this case, I'm going to paste what I copied and then click on OK. So just a basic filter rows, and sure enough, we can see the three rows or in this case, we have more than 3 rows. So we can say we also have this sales folder, no problem. Now I can come here and get rid of this AWS sales 2022.csv, and then that's going to be the second level of the filter we're applying, because we will focus on the 3 CSV files for the 2014, 2015, and 2016, and there we go. Now, once we've done all this, I can get rid of these metadata columns because they are not needed. So from this extension, I'm going to hold down the shift key, click on the folder path, right click, and remove columns. And those columns are removed. Of course, they are not deleted, just removed because they are stored here. So we can always restore them in this applied step here. So once this is sorted, we can go ahead and allow Power Query to perform the combining of each of the files into a single flat table. So let's click on combine, this double downward facing arrow, and grab some coffee. Now, as the combining file is going on, the Power Query will show us the sample of the data, and then once we're happy with the sample data window, as it's going to come up in a moment, then we can go ahead and create that process. To complete that process, that is to combine all the files into a single flat table. And one thing that I love so much, which I'm going to show you in a moment, is that the data flow generator will automatically detect and transform the data types to the accurate one, because for now we can see we have this delivered as string. That's all these columns, order ID, order date, ship date, customer name. So these are all returned as ABC. These are string, but the data flow generator is powerful enough to detect and transform them automatically. So in this page, as I've mentioned, we can see the first 200 rows, and we can see the delimiter as a comma, and we can see the file origin, the example file. So once you're happy, go ahead and click on OK. And again, the combining of the files continues in the data flow gen tool, and in about 5 seconds or thereabout, we should have all the files combined, and this is almost done. And watch what happens as this is almost wrapping up. The Power Query that data flow gen tool will automatically change the data. Can you see? So this is going to happen in a moment. So we have ABC 1 to 3, but the data flow gen tool will automatically change the data types for us without doing it. And this is what I'm talking about. Can you see? Let's go. Yeah. So this is now ABC. This is going to be 1 to 3, and that is really awesome. This is going to be a date, that is a calendar column. Brilliant. That's all we need to do. So let's go ahead and give a meaningful name for this query. I'm going to call this one F sales and press enter. Now we can go ahead and add a destination at the bottom. We can also use the default data destination. Let's just do from here. I can click on the plus sign, add data destination, and I can add to a new lakehouse. So I can also send this data to a warehouse, SQL database, SharePoint, or other destinations. But let's focus on sending data to the lakehouse, and I'm just go ahead and click on next, because all of these are fine we used before. So let's see, validating connection. All right, so in our case, we can see we have new table, we can dump in an existing table. We can also create a new file if we intend, but let's go ahead and dump in a new table, and we can expand this cornerstone workspace, and I've got this sales lakehouse created, so I just expanded it, and I can see this default DBO schema. So this is selected, and I'm going to maintain this table name and click on next. And as soon as I click on next, I'm going to see the choose destination settings. So we can see the option to use automatic settings, which is fine. We want to maintain all of these data types, source types, and destination types. This is fine for us. Save settings, and as soon as we save the settings, we move on to just a process of waiting. All right, so that's done. All right, that is completed. So we can see lakehouse as our data destination. We can see the name of the workspace, the name of the item, the name of the schema within that specific lakehouse, the name of the table, and update method. Now we can go ahead and finish off this by running and saving, or saving and running this process. Now when I click on here, I can see I've got different options. We can save and run without closing this data flow gen tool. But in our case, we want to do three things at the same time. I'm going to save the progress or the changes, run the data flow gen tool, and then close this data flow gen tool editor. So let's go ahead and do this. Save, run, and close. And I'm just going to wait for some seconds, and we are going to see that the data will be ingested into the sales lakehouse. Amazing. So we can see the succeed status. Brilliant. Now let's go and check it out. So I'm going to just step back, and then let's go to the lake houses. I can see the sales lake house that we provisioned as the data destination. So I'm going to select that, and there we go. So we can see the F sales delta table created in this sales list. And you can see all the columns, all the ID, all the date, ship date, customer name, payment, and so on and so forth. So we can inspect and we can see all the record for the 2014. And let's go to the bottom. We can see the 2015 and then the 2016, and that is fantastic. So this is essentially how we can use the data flow gen tool to connect to SharePoint folder and write the data into a Fabric Lakehouse. I trust you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like, comment, share, and follow me for more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.